Tune in.
Or the volume on down when you get a chance. Without Juju. Hey Juju, look, you got Juju, come here. Come here, Juju. Yeah.
Tune in. The
Black Hair Party presents the Real Talk Show.
Where we talk about friendship,
Love
and
and
purpose.
purpose.
Right here is JVN, and we got JRX36, and this is an All Ages Alliance production.
Wow, 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 wow. Change my name, please. What's my name? What's my name? And if you can give me some water when you get a chance.
Alright.
That boy getting that facial hair. Know what I mean? Cuz. Alright, so we about to. Let's see. Go over here. We about to go back in time. Ladies and gents, we going back in time. I like going back in time. I'm thinking about January sometime. What you thinking about? How far back in time? We got February. Thank you. I'll need more than that, please. You know what I'm saying? We got January. Let's check out this one. What's this about?
Tune in. The Black Hair Party presents the Real Talk Show, where we talk about friendship, love, and purpose. Friendship has everything to do with aura, love is more, and purpose is about saving time. I am JRX36, and this is an All Ages Alliance production. I'm going to position the mic a little closer today. That way I'm not going off screen like that. Let's see how this turns out, JJ. JJ Everyday Day. So, JJ Everyday Day. I move the mic closer. That way we can see how this works out with the mic a little closer. So today we're going to talk about I don't know for I don't know how long. It is 10:03 p.m. Eastern time, and today's day what, Jay? No, but what number are we on?
Today should be day 33.
Today's day 33. 33. So what do we talk on day 33? Go ahead, double check for me.
33 days in. The Real Talk Show.
Tune in. The Black Hair Party presents the Real Talk Show, where we talk about friendship, love, and purpose. Friendship has everything to do with aura, love is more, and purpose is about saving time. I am JRX36, and this is an All Ages Alliance production.
Okay, so I guess just add 11 to what day it is, if that's what you get. So right now we're on day 34.
And then if we could, you put the parentheses, the January 22, 2021?
Yes.
So we can include the day, right? Yeah, you can include the day, but moving forward, I want you to also, is there a way of adding the names of the people that appeared there maybe? So that it comes so that you see the name and then the names of the people that appeared? Like featuring, and then the names.
Okay,
featuring.
Let's go. A little behind the scenes, know what I mean?
Yeah. So that'll be cool.
Yes.
And that way I could see what, who I spoke to on that day, and then it'd be an easy way to like.
See JRX36 conversing with KJRX16.
Then get them grouped together. Tune in. The Black Hair Party presents the Real Talk Show, where we talk about friendship, love, and purpose. Friendship has everything to do with aura, love is more, and purpose is about saving time. I am JRX36, and I am JRX36.
And I am Alexandra. I just seen your hair pop like this. What you got going on?
That was like my third time saying it.
It was taking me a minute to log on my stupid phone, but
You're cool. I was just practicing. Looking through. So this is what I'm telling Jaden. I'm gonna share my screen.
okay.
Do you see my screen?
Yes.
So you see how it says like it got Real Talk Show day 33, day 30.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell him to go on and put on like the names of the people that attended.
Okay.
That way it'd be easy to go through. That way we can. So if I wanted to see or if Daniel wanted to see all the episodes that he wanted to, he could just find his name. You know what I mean? And then they'll all be there. Like this is the episode where we had those ladies.
Now this our content is only with us right now, right?
What was that?
Our content is only with me, you, and Daniel.
Our what?
our YouTube content. It's only with me, you, and Daniel, right? Our videos.
Is every video that we've ever done?
Right, but I'm saying it's only us that can watch it, right?
That what?
We are the only ones that are able to watch it, right?
Jaden, I think there's one more individual that you haven't met that I gave access to it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Who has access to watch the video so far?
Alexandra, Daniel, and Pablo Mago.
Okay. Yeah, and Pablo Mago, whom you haven't met. He's an old friend.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Marcus, I'm gonna give my friend Marcus some access to it. Marcus said he'd be willing to like edit it to get like the snippets of like highlights or whatever. So because I when we start going live, I'd like to then promote all the ones that we've done.
Okay, then.
Yeah, and then the ones that we've done, then the way that we can promote it is okay. So on day 18, you know, we were talking, Alexandra and me were talking about professional development as it relates to creating a course, and then we can show a little highlight of us talking about it. Or on day 25, we're talking about da-da-da, and you can show a clip of it. And just have clips to be able to put on regular social media, like when we do like our Facebook page. You know, then we can have clips that we could post that are not the whole episode, you know, for people to be able to like see. And then if they see it and they like it, then they might go watch the whole episode.
Sounds like a great idea, and I think that's the next move. You know what I mean? We're in like day 180 plus. I don't know. And I'm doing, in my own words, going back to videos like this and doing voiceovers, commentary. I love it. I think this is dope. However, the next step is getting clips so that we can use these clips on the mainstream social media platforms such as IG, FB, SC, and others.
But since we're gonna be going live, there's always gonna be some live content that we'll be doing. And I'm not sure if I told you. What I want to do is when we get to episode 42, I don't want to do episode 43. I want to call it episode 86. That way we can combine them, because you know how we did like 43 of the Real Talk Show?
Right. So you just added them all up together.
Yeah, because I kind of like seeing the numbers grow. Because man, like we're like, so basically we are on day 76.
And what's today? The 23rd, right?
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
That's a long time.
Yeah. So it's fun seeing the numbers. Like that motivates me to not miss a
So that has become a source of motivation. It's an internal source of motivation, what we call an intrinsic motivator. And that's like, I just want to see it grow. Like I like the idea of seeing more and more episodes. Now I'm doing this voice overs, you know, commentaries, box in the box, however you want to word it. And I enjoy it. And the numbers continue to grow. And it causes me to want to be here each and every day, so that I could continue to tell the story I'm telling. I'm telling one story that has many, many, many roots. Find your root and get to the top, get to the fruit. So that's what this is about. That's what's going on. I am intrinsically motivated to see the numbers grow. I like the idea of you, the viewer, not being able to binge watch me. You can't binge. I'm not binge watchable. Can't. You better take a couple weeks, months off of your job if you want to binge watch me and understand what I'm saying. Otherwise, you can catch me in little snippets. Know what I mean?
show, because it's like, you know, I want to see the numbers grow. And then one day I look for, like, I'm wondering, like, maybe, like, I don't go over the old. I tried that one time to go over some of the older shows. Like, I tried to like watch a little bit of it, but I don't really have the time.
Okay.
Now I do, and we doing voiceovers of the older shows too. So I got you, my homie. I got you. These black glasses right here, know what I mean? They allow me to do what you couldn't do.
So I look forward to having the time where I can just binge watch all our shows. Like, I think that's gonna be cool to like just put it on like fast motion.
I know, like, to be honest with you, like now with the books, all the books and stuff that I'm reading and everything, I really don't have time, to be honest with you, because like outside of my homework and my studying and stuff, and then that's what I kind of do is read, you know what I mean? And I want to keep up with that reading, but pretty soon, at least I would say once I get my GED completed, that would be something definitely I could like just get into, just to go back and kind of view, you know what I mean? How we started off and how we kind of developed for where we're at now.
Yeah, that would be dope. I'm looking forward. Same thing with my Instagram, and I've been going hard on my Instagram. I think my
I don't even got no Instagram. You be putting us on Instagram?
Yeah, so if you go to my Instagram, you'll see my art and you'll see like a lot of my children.
Okay.
It's not really about me personally. It's my art, and then Janine's art, and then like videos of Juju. Every now he be throwing tantrums. I'll record his tantrums. or I'll just randomly.
Maybe I need to look. Maybe I need that advance to go and give me an Instagram, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Instagram. I like the format of Instagram. Like I'm looking at Instagram as like a tool to be able to get Janine and Juju on their own platform, like on their own social media. Because I mean, I've been recording Janine ever since she was really young, with breaks in between, because I haven't always been like sometimes I'm usually never into two platforms at the same time. Or let me take that back. I'm usually never into Facebook and Instagram at the same time. Like if I stop posting on Facebook, then I'm probably posting on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm usually never at both places. These days, I'm trying to be at both places a little bit more. However, it's different vibes. So when I go to Instagram, that's more like a bunch of my pictures, a bunch of my art, a bunch of Janine, a bunch of Juju. And
one day, you know what I'm saying, let me be the first to tell you, I won't have the need to go on Facebook and Instagram, because everyone that I want to communicate will come communicate with me on the platform that I'll be on, IU Voice. So I look forward to being on IU Voice and being able to communicate with those that are interested in my work and interested in my projects and interested in the things that I've been working on. Look, I'm over here looking at the wrong camera. Either way, boom, here I am. So, yes, I look forward to that moment when Facebook, Instagram, etc., is a thing of the past. And not that I won't use it, because I still think it's useful. You know what I mean? Props to the FB and props to IG, Facebook, Instagram, FBI. Oh, snap. Shout out to the FBI. Bessie, ain't that crazy? Facebook and Instagram is FBI. Shout out to the FBI.
that's it. With Facebook, now I'm putting my art on Facebook, but I never put my art on. Like this is a relatively new thing. I'm not sure when I started doing it, but it's a relative, like it's a new side of me that my Facebook friends and family hadn't known about at all. I used to write a lot more like messages on Facebook, like my thoughts, kind of like a journal, which again, so with my Facebook, it was really me talking to myself, not necessarily me talking to other people. So that's why when I go live, I look forward to going live, because it's going to be me talking to others instead of talking at others. Right now, I've been talking at others versus talking to others, which is a different feel, because then people are gonna feel like, oh, he's talking to me, rather than talking some stuff I don't understand. Because usually, like whenever I would write, like my messages sound cryptic or like they're not as clear as could be, because I don't really like using regular grammar, like, and I like using the words that I like to use, and then that's a turn off for some people, and for other people, they're like, what is he saying? He's confusing me. But I was really mostly talking to myself, because I look forward to being able to only watch myself. Like, I think that's what social media should be about, and like it's
in other words, the social media will evolve into people watching themselves, and they'll be comparing themselves to themselves rather than comparing themselves to others, and that'll alleviate lots of stress and pressure in a lot of people, because now they no longer have to compare themselves to their siblings, to their best friends, etc. Now they can compare themselves to them, and each day live to be their best version of themselves. So we compare ourselves against ourselves, and then we could be a box in the box and watch ourselves, and then we could fix up the language that we use. We were using words that were not the most appropriate, the most correct, the most precise, and we can make those adjustments in this new moment, and we time travel, and we traveling through time. We are fixing and adjusting, our expressions as we go, and by consequence, we are regulating our emotions. We are in control of who we project ourselves to be.
So let me change it. It should be more like personal media rather than social media. And what I mean by that is, like, imagine how much we're going to be able to learn from ourselves when we go watch all our own videos. We're going to hear how we're talking, the choice of words that we're using. Like you get to see, oh, that's how I was acting, or that's what I was thinking in 2021. That's what was on my mind. And I think that's like a good tool to improve yourself. Like if you want to become a better version of yourself, what better way of becoming a better version of yourself than to see an older version of yourself? And like, I wouldn't say that. Like, so Melissa, like I mentioned to you the other day, Melissa tagged me on a conversation that is, like, we do real talk, but this conversation, like it was like about, it was like a sexual conversation about, like, so when I'll go ahead and put it out there, X rated. It was about, at least the beginning was about this, and then it turned into something different, or it turned into something more. A guy was asking or was saying that whenever he was having intercourse, and I'm saying intercourse, it was a different word. I like using different words nowadays. I like using the word intercourse than maybe intercourse, but sex and intercourse is the same thing. But anyway, so a guy was talking about having intercourse with a woman, okay, he said, when I have my intercourse with my woman, Her vagina is regular, but when I stop having intercourse and then I have intercourse, it's like her vagina gets bigger or stretches or something. And then imagine the conversations I went down that rabbit hole. And then from there, that conversation went into not vaginas being bigger or whatever, but then like anal. And then I'm like asking, like, so that, you know, so that's, I would be considered vanilla over here. Ha ha ha. You know what vanilla means?
Like a light-skinned person or something?
No, that means you're vanilla too. That means that, or let me take that back. Let's not even go there. But I'll just give you the definition of vanilla. So vanilla means maybe not sexually, like, I guess,
Literally.
like vanilla is plain.
Oh.
So if you got flavor in the terms of sexual, it's like you're willing to try all kinds of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was having a conversation with people that were not so vanilla, and they're willing to try all kinds of stuff. And then I'm like, you know, so I used to work in HIV, and I used to like do like interviews on people's sexual practices and sexual life. And I had like, I'm gonna say
On their sexual history, and then you know you get to hear all kinds.
it's going there already. Like I guess I came up now. It is the Real Talk Show, but this is an edited version of that. And then all because I wanted to. I guess I wanted to tell you this part, which is what made it extra, and why I don't even feel comfortable putting it so much, because it's like, you know, there are some under 18s in my Facebook,
My sphere of influence.
that I would not want to necessarily post this because it could be offensive to their parents. And I'm not trying to nobody. And this is the Real Talk Show, so this is different. I do want to have the freedom to talk about that here, but I'm not really interested in going there at this moment. Maybe with a different person, not you necessarily, but someone else that wants to maybe go there, and then I can choose my words.
Like kind of clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Even though this is the Real Talk Show, like it's not. It's maybe about having some form of a filter. Hey, baby, maybe it is having. Yeah, because you know I'm not. You know, I love language. I love language, and I think that we should be able to talk about anything and everything, like the Taboo Free Talk Show. However, I am interested in having an audience that would be willing to listen to us or to me, right? Like as one of the main hosts, I wouldn't want to be so vulgar that it tunes out a lot of people. It doesn't, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to say what I think or feel, but I can say what I think or feel in a way that's not so vulgar. And you know, and I'm just saying that because of the role that I'm playing right now. Whereas in a different conversation, if maybe I'm shifting to a side role, then I could maybe speak a little differently. But if I'm the main speaker, then I want to be, you know, less vulgar. But yeah, so I was like asking questions about what is like, you know, like, because I heard like, look, I don't even want to say like, let me, like, so if that part gets loose, doesn't that mean that brown stuff be coming out more? And because that's what I've heard, that is like, you know,
oh wow,
yeah, people, you know, so and then there were some individuals in the room, one lady in particular, good friend of mine, but she's like a sex ed teacher. Now, granted, I could do some sexual education, but there's some conversations that I would prefer not to be having, at least not in a public setting, even though it's necessary. Somebody's got to do it. I do believe that somebody's got to have these difficult, challenging conversations in a more public setting, because I'd rather the young people hear it from us than from Pornhub.com or, did I just plug Pornhub? What? I just plugged the porn site. What was that about? Then some porn site. I guess I plugged that one because that's the one I hear everybody else plug. You heard that? I just plugged the porn site. Ain't that some crazy stuff? But I was trying to say that. What's that? Careful, they be hopping. So yeah, so that was a very graphic conversation that I'm like, even though this is the Real Talk Show, I don't know that I really want to go there. But yeah. I don't even know how we got on that.
I got my lesson plan done, exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it.
Okay. You want to talk about it?
I am going to find 2 articles.
Yep.
I'm going to have him read both articles. And I'm going to have him write your opinion on exactly what you think. Did you like the article? Why or why not? Make sure you write 300 to 600 words.
And then from past experience, and then you can talk to him about this specifically yourself as well. I'm gonna just put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the word "do you like" may be challenging. You know, like because I don't got
which article did you enjoy reading the most?
Okay, that's one way of saying it. Or which one can you relate to the most, or which one do you think was better organized, or like, you know, like I'm just bringing up the attention that the word "like" may be challenging. Like for instance, if you ask me what's your favorite color, I'm gonna be like, I like all of them. Like sometimes I like black, sometimes I like purple. Now I can say my favorite one is red. Like when I was younger, I used to have a favorite when I was younger, but then I started liking purple, which is crazy because I thought that red would be my favorite color forever. But then I made space for purple, and then I like black, and then I like all colors now. So I love the rainbow.
So you will be available on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Or did you want to schedule it for later on in the week?
Let's go Tuesday 11 for now. I don't have my schedule in front of me. But let's move it from 11 to like 11:10 or something, because I know that I have a meeting. Well, we
can move it to Thursday if you wanted to.
Okay. Does that work better for you?
If that way you can be in there and sit in there with us and stuff.
Yeah, so I'll be able to sit in. I'm just trying to think about because I know I have a meeting just before, and they have.
Yeah, if you got a meeting just before, because you know how those meetings sometimes they may take a little bit over and stuff.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, so I don't want you to have to do it back to back because anything can happen at a meeting. I know how meetings, like we be in meetings, sometimes they can end early, but when you know you got a lot of information ahead of you, you can go 20 to 30 minutes later. You know what I mean? And I don't want to dictate, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I waited. But will you be there Thursday?
Okay, yeah, let's do Thursday then. And like I don't got my schedule in front of me, but I think Thursday should be good. Thursday 11 should be good because there's not like a pre-planned.
And I guess we haven't been doing those. So one thing that came to my attention was like, it's okay to not do the things that you say you want to do. Because at least by saying that you want to do it, you're putting it on your radar. You're putting it on your attention to accomplish it at one moment or another. Now, if circumstances in life don't make it possible, you want to evaluate that and you want to see what maybe led to for it not to have happened. But you don't want to be difficult to yourself. You don't want to speak to yourself unkindly because you didn't complete a task that you set yourself out to complete. But you do want to give it attention so that you can be able to solve for it. So that way you can accomplish it next time you say that you're going to do it. But all that to say is like, it's okay to make a plan and not keep it, but you want to keep it. You want to at least talk about it. So I guess I should touch back to base with Alexandra so we could talk more about, working with Jaden again. Because I guess what appears to have happened is I wasn't able to be present. And it was a requirement for me to be present for her to be able to do that with Jaden based on her whatever permission she got from her side.
And the meeting that I have that I can think of.
Okay, and then I'll just email my boss and let her know that Thursday I'll be
Okay.
And then we can plan 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, I would think. You could feel it out, see how it goes.
Okay, I'll just put 1 hour. If it lasts less than that, it lasts less than that, and we're done.
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the 8th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's gonna be like your first session, kind of like talking about the articles or whatever.
Yep, and that's gonna be with. Now, will you have more students, or we're just gonna do it with Jaden at that time?
Just Jaden.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the next students, I'm gonna just handpick those for you. I have one young lady in mind, and with her, I want to, see if I could, get her interested in being like a youth instructor or teacher's aide, like to help me out.
Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll email my boss Monday. Or text her. And I'll inform her that, me and you discussed everything and you'll be live with us on our Zoom.
Look, I had this nonstop sharing. Let me stop sharing. Okay.
And then we will we'll eventually get into entrepreneurship, but I'm not gonna start off with that.
Now that could be very relevant because
Think so?
Yes, because he got the job that he's getting now. I mean, they're I guess more entrepreneurship based anyway. Like so, he has this advertisement, like selling advertisements. That's entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Just got this, I got to contact this lady who needs some help with some computer work, and then this could be the beginning of him, finding people that need computer work. Like, I'm excited.
I'm gonna
Fast forward to today, Jaden's got hired where I work at. He's doing IT and logistics, so he's been able to accomplish his goal of becoming a little bit more independent by generating his own income.
I'm gonna put this on a whole
KJRX 16
curriculum thing. I'm gonna put in the articles. I'm also gonna type in the questions for the 2 articles, and I'm gonna include some notes for entrepreneurship. Now with those notes, I just want him to read over that and write down any questions he have, and then we can discuss it in our live. We're gonna talk.
Jaden has done some dope art piece or artworks or graphic design work for Alexandra. The words that she's been giving him, he's been taking those words and creating visuals, like visual representations of the words, and they've been on point.
About entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and just how we do, you see how like if we could put words entrepreneurship, and then we put the definition, like we could include.
That's what I'm going to include in the notes for him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it to where he can. Not saying like he can't understand it, but I'm going to make it to where it's not all this complicated work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you could use the same words, just put the definition in it.
Gotcha.
That'll be good vocabulary for him anyway. And
and then another thing too, I'm going to include the 5 words that I remember, the vocab words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, each word. And with those 5 vocabulary words, I want them to write each word 10 times, and then I want them to write each word using a sentence with 5 sentences.
Okay. Sounds a bit old school. Old school could work.
Huh?
Sounds a bit old school. I remember doing that in school.
By old school, I mean like having to write it 10 times, That's how you remember how to spell it, by writing it over and over and over and over again. So that was old school, but it's dope because, over in the new school, they got computers. So they're like typing it 10 times or something.
Yeah. It's like these days you got spell check. So
it'll help him get familiar with words while using his writing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in agreement. I definitely believe it. I used to spell way better when I didn't depend on spell check. Now that I depend on spell check, it's like I be forgetting words and it'll fill it in automatically.
And that's okay, you know what I mean? That's okay. So if you're a person that depends on spell check, it's okay, and keep a dictionary by your side, and then you could just Google the definition of words. But either way, there is no need to put any additional pressure on yourself to memorize things that you don't have to necessarily memorize. Now, if you got the space and you are able to, more power to power to you. What you looking at, homies? Put your head up. Talk to us. Say something. Say something.
Okay, I got to change to Thursday at 11 a.m. I just named the Teachers Aid Youth Instructor lesson.
Okay. Number episode 1 or something. You put a number 1 on it, and then you can start your own little. Oh, you got muted or something? I can't. Oh, you can't hear me? Because I can't hear you. How about now? Jaden, I'm muted. Like it's still recording. Let's see. I can't hear you. I can't hear you either. I just put that. Oh, why is that blocked? Oh, they got a copyright claim.
I guess what was the contact question? Yeah, I guess
We'll have to address that then.
Yeah, I guess hold on. Did Alexandra leave? Like, did Alexandra say she was gonna leave?
No, but she probably came out and about to come back in.
That's
Yeah, she came back in to see if it works. Let's see. Tune in. The Black Care Party presents the Real Talk Show, where we talk about friendship, love, and purpose. Friendship has everything to do with aura. Love is more, and purpose is about saving time. I am JRX36. Her camera's not working either.
So, this conversation has been more about checking in with Alexandra, getting her ready to work with Jaden, etc., talking behind the scenes about being able to speak things into existence and not creating any new pressure or suffering around not accomplishing it when you put your intention to accomplish it, saying it's all good. So I'm going to continue giving you behind the scenes on what it is to do a show like this. So here's what's next. It's all good to show up and not have an exact idea about what it is you're going to talk about, because you could just fill it out, let the conversation unfold in the direction that it needs to go. And you don't need to create any additional pressures. Now, you got to be open and willing to be authentic and vulnerable, because to the degree that you can be those things, to that degree, you can connect with those people that are seeking to connect with others that are just trying to be real. Welcome to the Real Talk Show. Real people, real stories, real talk.
I can't hear you if you can hear me, and I can't see you if you can see me. I can't hear you if you can. Okay, let me type on a text. Let's text over here.
Is that Jaden right there? I see you playing that switch.
My text.
Hold on, maybe she's kind of tired and not hear you.
Loading. LOL.
LOL.
Loading. LOL.
only be a
Oh,
few.
it's still loading. This is
Yeah, I guess
interesting.
it's just probably on Alexander's side.
Can you hear me? Where's these Steezy? Is there like a shortcut to these Steezy? Let's see. Maybe sound. Can you give me some water, please? The most.
Especially when I can see a smile and hear your jokes. You're testing me and me while I keep losing hope. You're bringing out a side of me that people don't know. They keep telling me that maybe I should let you go. It got me thinking like, damn, what if I...
Can you give me more though? That way I don't gotta ask you for.
And the evidence show that we moving too fast. We can't do this no more. We both need time to grow. We both need time to show that this is what we want and that this is no joke. Baby, let's prove it, yo. Baby, let's make a whoa. Cause we be so in love, but do each other cold.
Thank you.
And it's the intermission. Easy out of LA.
D Steezy. Stay featuring Flora. Why you talking to your friends? Get a man. Jealous. And but you ain't perfect either. Find your purpose. Big. No shame.
Steezy. Nah, I mean, no Alexander. Where you at?
Steezy.
Where you at, Alex?
No, and while we at it, look. While we at it, let's go ahead and play another track. Real Talk featuring Flora. While I cue some Prince 8 on the background. Why am I only going to Steezy and Prince 8? Well, why not? You know, you just chilling back there. I know you listening. It's all good. You could enjoy the tunes, but it do be kind of dark.
Think about that twice. Stop sharing.
Oh, okay. JRX 36 presents Real Talk featuring Laura.
Nah, we was just chilling. I know you can barely hear that sound out there. It sounds
That's a good point.
here way in the back, you know what I mean? So it's better you just go listen to it live, but we just vibing. So this is vibing. Sometimes it's time to socialize. That's what I was doing earlier. It's a time to achieve, which is everything. Everything I do, I want to make it an achievement. I want to be able to be working when I'm not working. I want to be able to be productive by being non-productive. You know, that's the goal for me, is to be able to have my time, be so aware of how I'm using my time that everything I'm doing contributes to that one mission, that one purpose, is to stay current. Current, not like current in time, but yeah, current in time, current in energy, but to keep it current, to keep connected. That is the goal. That is the purpose. Reset, form, void. Man, can't hear it. So, you know, we'll go
Money, sex, and connection. What you want? Money, sex, or connection?
sex and connection. That's what he's saying. So, you know, I'm using that SCX word. So I guess this becomes a show for those that are maybe 13, 14 and over, teens and up. Because if you a teen, you got to hear this because you're hearing it already. But if you're not a teen yet, you could hold up, you know, wait up, hold up, but wait on that.
Vegan bacon.
Vegan. What you got in your hand? A pen? Yo, you writing notes over there? Yo, your audio is not good. Put this audio, better lighting, but let's switch this up. Don't nobody want to see your big face. Don't nobody want to see your big face. I want to see your big face. I want to see your big face. I want to see your big face. But with them red glasses, nah, I'd rather see him with black. I mean, keep it black, man. Keep it black. Black amore. Oh, where's the audio?
So we back, and I'm talking. So what you look for in a relationship?
Here we
You know, these are the three, and I'm gonna include a fourth
That's loud, Juju.
main areas of a relationship. But I'm gonna start with three.
Yes, let's
We
go.
got money,
Money.
money/access to material things. So we got money, which is access to material things.
Boom. That equates to survival. You know what I mean? Are we surviving?
We got sex,
Sex.
which is
This is definitely 13 and up.
intimacy, and then we got connection, which in the most basic.
Connection. Now, connection, I initially want to think compatibility. Like, are you interested in the same things I'm interested in? Do we respond in the very same ways to the same kind of things?
Words is conversation. So we got money, sex, and conversation.
Money, sex, and conversation. That's what rules the nation. So which one is your favorite or your top? Which one do you want the most? Do you want more money? Do you want more conversation? Or do you want more of the other?
Those are the main three elements of a relationship. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat box. We got money, bang. We got sex, bang. We got connection. That's conversation. Bang, bang, bang. Money, sex, and connection.
Is that not what a relationship comes down to? Do you know how many relationships end because of differences in opinion on money? Like, they may not be cool with the 50-50. They may not be cool with the 100-0. They may not be cool with the all in the pot. They're not cool with the sometimes and sometimes not. So money is a big part of a relationship until it's not. Until it's not. And then it's not. And then what is it?
And depending on how satisfied you are in these three areas.
And it doesn't have anything to do with how much money you have, because there's some people that are wealthy, that think this, that feel that are very hyper aware of every dollar that comes in and out, and they have emotions about it, you know, especially if they feel that they're providing or contributing more of it to the shared thing than the other person, regardless of how much is in the bank. You know, this is about the way people perceive fairness. Like, yo, it's not fair that I'm paying 100 and you paying 0. But then on the flip side, it's not fair that I'm doing all the chores and you not. So it's like there's this thin line where you could walk down to the degree that you communicate, and you could walk that thin line point, you know, meaning you could be standing up straight with confidence.
Areas with your partner determines the successfulness or the healthiness of your relationship. You know, if you got 1 out of 3, that's a no-go. I mean, if you got 0 out of, and when I say no-go, let me preface that by saying that a no-go doesn't necessarily mean you got to separate or that you should not be joined, because that could be an opportunity for growth.
An opportunity for growth. Speak on that.
And over here, we good on growth. We believe in growth, especially if you were into a growth mindset.
Now, that means that in order to grow, you got to be time under tension. Just how muscles grow, time under tension. So if you time under tension physically, time under tension mentally, time under tension. Emotionally, you will grow. You will grow. You will mature. You earn your grades. Know what I'm saying? You'll earn them.
Okay, let's see if Alexandra's audio is working. In the meantime, I'll keep talking. So you got money, sex, and conversation / connection.
Can you hear me now?
I could hear you now.
Okay. I got a little technical difficulties.
That's good. That's good. Like I played 2 songs from D Steezy and I shifted my attention and had my conversation on money, sex. I was gonna move forward.
So yeah, I was just going over with you, like basically, you said old school, but right, doing the words or whatever and stuff. And then I think that that's what I'll do to start off with. And then we can meet. Are we gonna meet weekly to start off with, or how did you want to do it?
You know, I want to let's determine that same day. We can set it. We can set it weekly, right? We can set it weekly.
I think we should. I think to start off with, to set it weekly, and the reason why, it'll give him enough time.
Okay.
To read the articles, write the thing, do the words, and do the synthesis, as well as give you time to implement on whether, like, which students you would like to choose to actually be a part of it as well. And then he can email everything back to me. He can write it first if he feel comfortable writing everything first and then typing it up. That'll give him enough time to do all of that.
So let me give you some pushback, but it's all good. I'm down with that. Because okay, so I would say cool. Let's do weekly on the writing. However, we have an opportunity to do something different. Maybe you could work with him on interviewing skills. You know, like how to interview. For instance, like how to interview for a piece of writing, but then it'll be practice interviewing, and then you can interview him or he can interview you. And I do think that interviewing would be a skill that I would want him to learn. Like
now, would this be when would you be available though?
That's what I'm saying. We would have to like based on the date. Like on Thursday, we can then say when would be the next best day to do it. Which I would want to do it Friday, right? Like I want to get you practicing, just coming online. That way, it's easier for me to then shift you to another student. Because the more that once you start getting some practice in, you're gonna get ideas and things are gonna come up that then is gonna like be a good bridge for me to then be like, okay, then this would also be good for so and so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
but if it's overwhelming,
so right now, what I'm going to include in the email with my boss is that we're going to start Thursday, and you just have me practicing right now. This is just I'm getting virtual practice in before I actually get with all the other students, right?
No, I mean, I'm calling it practice. I call this practice.
Okay.
So even if we're doing it, I call it practice.
Okay.
Yeah, like so.
I'll just basically. I'll be basically assisting you, but you will be taking the lead. However, I'll be the one doing more of the presentation and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because like, so for instance, like the young people I'm working with, I want to find someone to be like more like an assistant, right? Like that's like kind of like the main thing is a youth instructor, assistant youth instructor, or or teacher's aide. However, Jaden has been doing that for me when it comes to paperwork, like administratively. He does a lot of forms for me. He does like data entry for me. But I also want him to begin to be able to do more than just data entry, like be able to do interviews, be able to, write, be able to produce more from a different, not just like the computer. But that's Jaden. But then I also have another young lady that I think would be great to like be my assistant. And what I mean by that is like, I can kind of show her how to run the program from a presentation standpoint, but then you can work with her in terms of how to be a good assistant. And then we'll work together to form like lesson plans for her based on what the skills that you already have. So it's like it is like if you're being like a teacher's aide for me, and then you're doing that by working with the teams. So, and then each one of them is kind of like individual, like Jaden has specific needs that may be different than other, but then there's a lot of overlapping. Meaning, so for instance, let's say that you do work out with Jaden on like interviewing skills, in addition to the writing, like then because you can tie it together, you can tie in doing writing articles based on interviews. Then how that goes well, and then he can either teach someone else, or I can be like, okay, well that went really well. Let me give you another person that could be a good lesson for, and then we go from there. Just think.
And then I gotta go to Walmart tomorrow, so I'm gonna make sure I give me a notebook for my to write my lesson plans in.
And then like the bigger picture with like the lesson plans is that look at it almost like a booklet. Like over time, let's say that you do 30 classes, right, in a couple months. Well, those 30 classes, some might be the same one repeated, and then there's gonna be a group that are unique. So maybe you have 20 unique ones, and then 10 that were repeats. But then every time that you do a repeat,
I think after so many weeks, I think I'm gonna start the course over. Like maybe make it like a 10-week writing course. Or I'm not gonna say now, but I'm gonna look at it as that. But I'm gonna gradually, as I come along, then I'm gonna see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then I think a lot of that, you'll be able to figure out as you go along. Like, so for me, so then that means, for instance, if you do that 10-week writing course, if I was in your shoes, then I just probably wouldn't do any more writing courses, you know. But what I think is that writing courses for different people might be a little bit different, but it might not, because you might already do those 10 writing courses, and then the next person I send you that should be doing a writing course should be like, okay, well, find episode 7 of me and Jaden where I talked about this, and then you do that assignment. You see what I'm saying? So then that might be what ends up happening, whereas like then all the videos that you have done are videos that you can refer people to, you know, and then you move on, and then you'll focus more on the next section of the teacher's aid, you know. But then you might find a new person that you'll be like, okay, well, this person.
But if you want to focus on one area, you should just focus on one area. And that's, maybe I should have mentioned that, you know, you don't have to go to the next. My personality wants to boom, master this, boom, master the next, boom, boom, boom. But you can stay still if you work in part of a team.
And may not be into, or I may need to do a new writing class for this person. That,
so what, like beginning writers or team writing? I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
I can get there. I don't have to name it off top.
Yeah, and yeah, don't worry. I wouldn't focus too much on the naming of things, because over time they'll name themselves. You know, and then
like I could be 3 or 4 weeks into the course, and I could be like, you know what, Julian, I think I got a name for it. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So I think that'll work out well. Yeah.
But I guess let's talk about what it looks like in the bigger picture. Based on my experience, this is how I think it'll unfold. You're getting practice teaching. Look, you're gonna get practice teaching.
Okay.
You're creating your own curriculum.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in my my notes from my boss. So practice for teaching.
And you're creating your own curriculum.
Okay.
Based on a student-centered approach.
Okay, creating
your own curriculum.
My own curriculum.
Based on a student-centered approach.
Based on a student
centered
approach.
Yeah, and then, so what that means is, like, when you go to a college class, it's not student-centered. It's more, I don't know if I never heard the word teacher-centered, but it's not student-centered. What student-centered means that you're developing your lesson plans based on the needs of this individual student.
I'll also begin facilitation training in this as well, right?
Yeah, because then we can have, because then after you finish the class at nighttime when we meet, if you're open to meeting at nighttime, then we can discuss, when we don't have any other guest or whatever, I can talk to you about how you facilitated it, like we can do like a debriefing of how the facilitation went, because teaching is facilitating.
Okay.
So that's a good note. We didn't do that. However, that is a good note. So as people are practicing facilitation interview, it's good to do a voice, a box in the box on those. In my own words, box in box. Do like give some feedback on what the experience look like, the words, the expression, like being able to really speak on it.
Teaching is facilitating. So then we can debrief it, and that just means you get feedback. I'll give you feedback on how that session went.
Okay.
I'll be like, okay, and then we can even break it down. We could watch it on Zoom, like right here. I'll share my screen, and then I'll be like, oh, I remember this part, and then we can break it down.
Okay.
And that'll be the facilitation training.
Okay, and then what I'll just put is Julian plans for us to review the Zoom teaching videos.
Let's not say that. Julian plans to give me feedback on the Zoom meeting with the ability to review.
Hold on, give me feedback on the Zoom meeting.
Including being able to.
With the ability to what?
No, not with the ability, including being able to use the Zoom share feature to review clips of the Zoom meeting or the team teaching or the Zoom meeting, but I don't know. I can't. You would have to read it back. So
the Zoom teacher meeting.
The
teacher Zoom meeting.
Or the teacher's aid Zoom class. Zoom class. Probably better. Teacher's aid Zoom class. So, because basically this is what I'm saying. I'm saying you could do the class, right? And then in the evening or the next time that we talk, I could give you some basic feedback. Okay, I thought it went well. It looks like he was engaged. I think the assignment was maybe not as relevant to him. However, the way that you were able to debrief the article with him or the homework seemed to have worked out. And then we can talk about it. So then that would be how I can give you that would be the beginning of the facilitation training, is basically giving you feedback on your delivery and preparation. because now, you can get fancy with it. You could, and I'm not saying right now, but in what it means to get fancy with it, you could do PowerPoints.
Okay.
Like you can share your screen and then I can give you feedback on your PowerPoint. So like,
Okay.
and the PowerPoint could be basically your lesson plan.
Okay.
You can have,
So that's my main goal, is to be looking. My goal is to eventually put my lesson plans on PowerPoints.
and that could be assignments that you give Jaden. And then you see how you're taking notes now, then he can take notes for you.
For PowerPoint, on PowerPoint, or
No, like you see how you're taking notes right now so while you can be like, okay, Jaden, write this down, and then
Okay.
and then make it a bullet point and say and put it into a PowerPoint, and then we'll review that the next time that we're in the Zoom meeting.
Okay.
And then that's one way, but once you'll probably want to make your own PowerPoint slides at some point. But I'm
Right,
saying
I got
I'll
you.
help you with that.
Okay, and he can also like send them to me too once I.
Yeah, and then,
Okay.
and then you can edit them. Maybe you can have them started and you can edit, but you'll figure out how you want to do it. But what I'm saying is, in terms of like, so then you doing the teacher's aid training course is helping the teen, right? It's helping Jaden or whoever the teen is. And then you're providing a student-centered approach. So basically, Jaden has specific needs, X has specific needs, Z has specific needs, and we're talking about those specific needs, and you're creating lesson plans to be able to, meet their needs, right? Individually. That's kind of like
Lesson plans, experiences, conversations, discussions. That's basically what we do.
the approach that we're having to the teacher's aid training program. And then
Okay.
and your curriculum is going to develop itself over time, because you'll do one session.
By listening, you listen, you speak and listen, you speak and you listen, and then what the listening does, the listening allows you to accurately position the person that you're working with. By accurately positioning means, then where they at. They'll tell you.
For Jaden, you'll do a different session for another person, and then repeat.
Where they at allows you to then take them where they want to go, their dream space.
The sessions you did with Jaden with another person, or you'll refer people back to that first one. And then that's one area of professional development. You're being a teacher's aide. But then when I give you feedback, then now we're talking about facilitation training.
Okay.
And that's like a different area of professional development, because now I'm giving you feedback and I'm saying, okay, so your delivery was great, or you can improve your delivery on XYZ, or, it appeared that went over his head, or that was, whatever, I'll give you feedback on some basic feedback. And then that's where then you also have delivery, which is like, for instance, like in a teacher, that could be like a smart board, or your choice of books. I'd be like, okay, so then maybe that choice of book was not relevant to his age group. But the way that you broke it down was better, but let's focus on maybe getting a book that is maybe more at his level.
Okay.
Just to get feedback. I'm just talking out loud, but what I'm basically saying is that the teacher's aid training program is one way for you to practice like being a teacher, and creating your own curriculum, and then I'll give you feedback on how well you executed, how it came out, what was your delivery, and then what that'll do is then that'll make you a better presenter.
Okay.
Basically, right now, like when you start the program, you're going to be presenting. You're a presenter, and you're presenting your curriculum. You're presenting your class under the topic of youth instructor, and under the topic of youth instructor, writing, reading. These are parts of what you teach, right? Because you want to teach reading in some level by introducing them to books, and then by being able to read passages. So it's almost like, okay, so then being able to help the child or work with the teen through your knowledge, right? Like good knowledge is one good aspect of facilitating. You have good content, right? But then the next level is your delivery. So how did you get your content and communicate that? So, and then that could be with the use of props. So a book is a prop. You could have a book, and you could be like, all right, can you go to xyz.com and we can look at it together. You go to that screen, you share screen, and then those become elements of the facilitation or of the training. And then I can, as you do the courses or the classes, I can then observe it, because I'm gonna be in the room, right? Like, and I'm gonna be observing whether I might be what I'm planning is probably to sit next to him and then kind of like be able to watch, and then also maybe do my own thing. Maybe I'll probably take notes while I do something else, or I may just be able to focus entirely on the lesson plan. But what I'm saying is, I'll be giving you feedback on how it went later on. That way it can improve, it can improve your delivery, it can improve your facilitation. So in addition to doing the teacher day training program, I'll give you feedback to be able to improve your facilitation. And then because I'm working with you on it, then we can begin to improve the course or the curriculum. Because I'll be like, okay, that was a good writing class. Looks like, and then you'll have some ideas. And I'll be like, okay, I think that should be the next one, or maybe we should do that one and we'll talk it out. But then, so basically all I'm saying is that the facilitation training is basically debriefing, and then like, so for instance, how do you debrief? So share with me how it went. Oh, it went da 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 da. Okay. Interpret that for me. So like what you just said, what does that mean? When you said XYZ, what does that mean to you? And you'd be like, well, that means this. Okay, how about when you said this? What does that mean? And something like an example of that is, well, I think it went good. I feel like maybe I wasn't clear on this part. And I'm like, what do you mean it wasn't clear? Like, well, how could have you been more clear? You know, and then in general, like, how does that come up in maybe your other conversations or your other, you know, speaking, like when you're in a meeting, does that happen to you in a meeting? Do you sometimes feel like, so then I'm going to take that one experience and then be able to make it a bigger experience to connect it to you and your professional development, like when you're presenting to the young people in your program, when you're in a staff meeting, because ultimately it's all one thing. Like if you're talking, presenting, you're facilitating a conversation. Well, you can facilitate a conversation with a team, or you can facilitate a conversation in a meeting, or you can facilitate a conversation in a workshop. So then being able to debrief it will be an opportunity for then you to be able to like me and you will like go behind the scenes and be like, okay, let's talk about, now that this happened, let's talk about it to see if there's areas that it could be improved, or what areas we're working really well, what areas we want to do more of, or, you know, and then build it from there. Does that make sense?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
And then, you know, I have like a facilitation training course that I went through that then as you go through it, then I can expose you to it. And that would be, and by me doing it that way is a strategy, meaning like you might say, well, why don't we talk about it right now? And then what I would say is because it's better for you to have the experience, you know, and after you experience it, then we can label the different elements of it.
Okay.
And then that is, okay, so boom. So then, yeah, I like the way this conversation went, because I don't think we were talking about or thinking about it, or I wasn't thinking about it at this level, at least not in the immediate future. But I think that this could definitely be an opportunity for me to be able to create a course for you on facilitation, you know, on the go. Like I'm going to be coaching you while you're coaching others, or while you're teaching others. And I'm going to coach you, and that might be the better way. I'll coach you through the process of being a teacher's aide in terms of facilitating those discussions. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. And then I got everything. I ain't gonna email her on the weekend. I'm gonna email her Monday, and then I'm gonna just put it. Well, we meet tomorrow anyways, so I'm gonna probably write it out, and then I'm gonna see how does it sound to you, because I want to like put it in some of your words too. You know what I mean? So she can know that it's coming from both of us.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. That's cool.
So she won't. She's happy for me. You know what I mean? And I love to give her those weekly updates. That way she knows a little bit about what's going on, how I'm doing. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. So. And so I've been I send her weekly updates though. I know we meet daily, but I take notes, you know how we meet, and then I just type everything up, which I need to start sending you some too. But
I mean, you have them all on your email anyway, so at some point you can just send them all to me anyway.
Yeah, I do got them on my email, and I also I've been saving them to my flash drive too.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited about this. This is a good bridge. This is a good next step, because it's going to allow you to get a lot of practice in an area that you want to get into, education, and then. Jaden would be a good first student, and then as I get you students, it's like it's gonna improve your skills like dramatically, because you're gonna be getting practice on what you want to do. You know,
before I even get started in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. And then I can give you feedback, you know, that can then sharpen your skills, you know, and then because then really like if you can work with teens, then it's easy to work with adults, you know, because you know teens. Well, I mean, let me think about that. Probably. Yeah, I don't want to take it back, because teens could be challenging to work with, because you know their attention. We think about the future way more than the average teen. The average teen isn't thinking about the future as much as we're thinking about the future. And now, granted, of course, there are teens that do think about the future, and there are teens that you know do a lot of thinking about the future. But what I mean by that is like when I'm not meeting with Jaden, when I'm not meeting with my other teens, a lot of time they're just living in the moment. They're vibing. They're talking on the phone with their friends, that's socializing, and then or they're just watching YouTube videos, the prank videos, like so to get their attention and have their attention and not have them get distracted could be a bit of a challenge. Whereas adult learners, like if you're here, like right now, you're here because you want to be here, you're getting something from here, so it's easier to get your attention and have your attention. Whereas if you didn't want to be here, then you just wouldn't show up. So I'm excited for you and for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, that being said, we're gonna meet tomorrow same time.
Cool. And
then yeah, we can go. We kind of got all that out the way, how we're gonna do everything. So tomorrow we can meet. If you don't have a topic, I have a topic for us, okay?
Okay. That's what's up.
I'll make sure I got a topic for us there tomorrow.
That's what.
So I pretty much got my professional development squared out for the week.
Okay.
Then that'll give me enough time, like during my professional development days during the week, I could because I'm gonna actually be doing this along with them. But not the article part, but the the words. I'm gonna be strolling along with them doing that too.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be watching, so I'm gonna be learning it. We're all gonna be in it together. So
yeah. But other than that, everything good. Tomorrow 9 p.m. Anything else you want to add to it, or?
Nah.
Good.
That's all
Okay.
good.
Tell Jaden to get ready. It's Thursday at 11 a.m.
You hear that, JJ? Every day. He got a new game today, so he's been
Oh, you
playing.
did?
Yeah, on the Nintendo, on the Switch, the Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow night. Tell Bessie and everyone I said hi too, okay?
Hi, Bessie. She probably got headphones on.
Oh, okay. She in her zone.
I think she's on the Zoom with her sister or something.
Oh, okay.
She'll be going on Zoom a lot, so.
They do? Okay.
Alrighty, it was good
All right.
talking.
Good night. Thank you, Julian.
Bye.
Know what I'm saying? Let's end it with a D Steezy or a Prince 8.
We're about to end this live with a track. I'm not gonna put it too long. That way Jaden can do the outro. Jaden, dreams and nightmares. What's all that about? Let's see if that gives us time. Whoa. Oh, we got 3 minutes. And 6 seconds. And
Where it says the seconds.
well, I think because it's a countdown.
Lighting.
And then you can do the outro real quick after. We want to get this blocked video and get it unblocked, which means we might need to edit it, right? Get it. I don't want no copyrighted,
Yes, Juju. Yes. Okay, hold on. I'm doing something right now. Juju, let's go do the other thing. Tune out. The Black Hair Party has presented and only his clients the Real World Talk Show featuring JRX 36 and Alexander Blockton. We will see you tomorrow.
Jaden. Is Jaden in the bathroom or anything? Well, we'll give Jaden a few minutes to get here. This episode was a roller coaster, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, a little bit down. We went from talking education to talking money, X, and conversation. And now as we conclude on a different vibe, waiting on Jaden. But we'll have to maybe go back and finish that conversation about relationships. Not today, but let's see if we can go back. Let's see if I find it. Say, well, why not? You know, you just chilling back there. I know you listening. It's all good. You could enjoy the tunes, but it do be kind of dark. So let me think about that twice. Stop sharing. Oh, okay. JRX 36 presents Real Talk featuring Laura. AJ, I think he's sleeping. So we'll just close this out ourselves. What's gonna make our I'm saying. It's been a pleasure, it's been good, and it's over. That was an episode of the Real Talk Show. You want money, sex, and connection.